There is no price you can put on nothing. Nothing. I will do what I want and talk about what I want. Ladies and gentlemen, these claims that there are no evidence of fraud are utterly absurd. The press conference yesterday with Rudy Giuliani, Sidney, and others, Jenna Ellis, there were numerous data points of evidence presented yesterday. Our good friend Amber Athey at The Spectator has an article up, which is going to be in the show notes today. Go to bongino.com/newsletter if you'd like to access our newsletter. The show notes, same thing. There is evidence, actually. The Spectator. Rudy Giuliani gave examples of voter fraud during his presser at RNC headquarters by Amber Athey. Folks, again, the tendency by some weak-kneed Republicans to immediately fall in line with acceptable media narratives on the left, I have to be honest with you, is quite pathetic to watch. It's not you in our audience, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. Rudy Giuliani yesterday, I'll get to a screenshot from this piece in a second, presented piles of sworn affidavits. Now, I get it for the media types on the left and the weak-kneed jellyfish, no backbone Republicans who don't have an ounce of integrity left here. Sworn affidavits, when an affiant signs his or her name and swears under oath the testimony they're giving in that affidavit is true, is evidence. I don't know if you've never been involved with a civil tort case, criminal case, if you're just totally unfamiliar with Legalese 101, but an affidavit sworn, a statement saying you witnessed some form of malfeasance or criminality is evidence. Please let's not take the Marie Harf approach, who always, our go-to line for everything is, you don't have evidence. She just doesn't know what evidence is. I actually worked in the space. When you go to court and you testify as a criminal investigator, affidavits by affiants and people are evidence. You can cross-examine them. You can do what you'd like, but they are, in fact, evidence. When I went in to collect counterfeit bills on a counterfeit case, we called them runouts. Hey, you got a counterfeit runout. Go to that 7-Eleven. They have a counterfeit bill they got. You would get a sworn statement from the owner or the guy or the woman who took the bill at the 7-Eleven. I went to a lot of them in my time. That's why I bring it up. They were all over Long Island. That's where the counterfeit appeared a lot, unfortunately. And they would say, yes, on such and such a date and a time, this individual came in and handed me this bill. That's evidence. If someone in a voting location witnesses behavior they deem potential malfeasance, truckloads of ballots appeared at 4 a.m. They were all for Joe Biden. They were pristine. They were not handled. Does that mean those are fraudulent ballots? Not necessarily. Could it be? Could. Is that evidence? It certainly is. From Amber's piece, so we don't buy into the media. There was no evidence presented yet. There was actually a lot. You're just a media moron who's trying to advance a narrative, not advance the truth, and I'm tired of it. Quote, Giuliani did in fact present evidence of voter fraud today, but many people just simply didn't want to hear it. He cited multiple Americans, one by name, who've signed sworn affidavits stating they witnessed some type of fraud, whether it was pro-Trump ballots being thrown out without cause, ballots being backdated to before the election, poll workers being told not to ask voters for identification, and more. As Giuliani helpfully pointed out, affidavits are considered evidence in a court case. Whether you agree or disagree with them is a different question. And it's reasonable that not all people who sign their names would be willing to go public. If you want to hear more of the evidence that was presented, just watch the first hour of the press conference. We can't fall into this trap here, where again, the media starts to dictate the acceptable narrative of the day, and anyone not complying with their narrative and their gaslighting is deemed not allowed in polite company. Double-barreled middle finger to you guys. We'll talk about what we want. We'll address these affidavits one by one and determine if they are in fact verifiable or not. Don't tell me there's no evidence. You damn well know if this was evidence of Hillary Clinton votes in 2016 that were thrown out, or Donald Trump votes that showed up at 4 o'clock in the morning in suspicious garbage bags, as Rudy alleged yesterday in the press conference, garbage bags. They had votes in garbage bags. Is that true? If it's true, isn't it worth entertaining? No, it's not worth. If those were Donald Trump votes that showed up that way, not in ballot boxes, but in garbage bags, I think Democrats would have a bunch of questions, and the hack media. But of course, because they think Donald Trump lost, it's moveon.org time. Move on, folks. Move on. I'm not moving on. I'm not interested in moving on. And to all the leftists trying to intimidate me, attacking my Facebook page, attacking my website, attacking these outbrain people, canceling our ad widgets, trying to get me to stop talking about it, I will not. I will not comply no matter what. There's nothing you can do to me. Do you understand that? There is no price you can put on nothing. Nothing. I will do what I want and talk about what I want.
You just heard Dan Bongino.